Holy dooly, Carvana is really taking off at the moment.
Send it to the frickin' moon, idiot.
Hi again, everyone. I hope you're doing really well. So, a stock that I haven't necessarily talked about before, but I have been watching over time is that of Carvana. I was saying the stock, hit its real high points during the pandemic where it was added to the Fortune 500 list temporarily as one of the youngest entrants on that list. Since then, however, the stock heavily declined as the high inflation environment kicked in, and sales of used cars started to decline, and basically the stock fell from a height above $300 to sitting down in the just above the $10 to $15 price range. Now, this all changed yesterday. The stock had a 56% jump when the company announced that it expected improved profitability for the second quarter due to cost-cutting measures. So Carvana has faced challenges in the past due to rising interest rates, like we've just touched on, which has reduced the demand for large purchases and high inflation impacting consumer budgets. So this has additionally caused for the falling in used car prices, and it has also led to Carvana having actually less inventory as less people are looking to sell and buy used cars. Anyway, the CEO stated that the company's outlook is starting to improve as it focuses on profitability. The stock reached its highest closing price since September last year, although it's still down by approximately 4% over the past 12 months, but it is up in year-to-date terms. The company anticipates adjusted earnings of over $50 million for the second quarter, surpassing analyst expectations of just $6.1 million of a $6.1 million adjusted loss. Furthermore, Carvana has said that it aims to achieve adjusted gross profit per unit of $6,000, a 63% increase from the previous year, and higher than the $4,303 recorded in the first quarter. So the company is actually starting to see cost-cutting measures come through in their pricing model. And they also have a plan to sell more securitized loans, which might be a bit of an issue given that Carvana currently holds about $8 billion in debt. So there is a bit of a debt issue there, considering the levels of revenue to consider. Now, aside from that, obviously, I've talked about retailers are interested in this stock, and the reason they're interested in it is obviously because it has had in the past and has today huge short squeeze potential. Now, if you look at the short interest in the stock, there is about 56% of the float held short, and there is on average less than 1 day to cover. So there is actually a bit of a time pressure on shorts to cover the positions. In fairness to them, however, they do have a fairly low borrow fee. It's only sitting around 7% at the moment. So the pressure to cover isn't really there, but given the rally that the stock saw on Thursday and the positive momentum that continued in the aftermarket with the stock climbing by a further $1 per share, there is the real possibility that we could be seeing the start of a much longer running short squeeze in the stock. Now, typically a lot of the short squeezes that I've looked at tend to be short, sharp movements. But Carvana, I think, given the scale of it, and it's sort of ever present in the minds of retail investors over the past few years, there is a real potential that this one could be drawn out a bit longer. And given the size of the short interest, we could really see some real pressure put on these shorts. So it's interesting what a little bit of positive outlook can do for a company that has otherwise been really languishing in the investment world. Of course, what I say on here is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and to be honest, I've never really talked about Carvana before. I've only kind of just watched it from the sides. I'm sure many of you know a lot more about this company than I do, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think is going on with the stock price at the moment. Are we actually seeing a short squeeze, or is this just a market reaction to the actual value of the stock at the moment? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I always love hearing from everyone on here. Until next time, everyone, may the markets trade in your favor. Cheers.